to welcome all visitors and guests today at the very end. Also, can note that we do have a quorum of 4 board members present. Say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Say invisible vision. That's payback for Maysville.
Approval of the minutes. Yes.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second. The 6th, Monday.
Got a motion and a second for approval of February 6 minutes. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval for February 23rd minutes.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the agenda. We don't need no changes, right?
That's right.
Make a motion.
Got a motion?
I'll second.
Got a second.
I didn't want to hold me, keep me still. I got it again.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Go to public comment if there any.
Yes, Ms. Harden.
All right.
Hi, my name is Brenda Harden. I have 2 students in the Jones County School
Just want let you know also you have 3 minutes for public comment.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I know I only have 3 minutes, so I won't waste time. First, it has been brought to my attention via email and confirmed by Dr. Parker that my student is only receiving 17 minutes for lunch time. I also have legislation from the Board of Education and the Department of Public Education. I want to read that to you. It says, they must provide sufficient meal periods that are long enough to give all students adequate time to consume breakfast and lunch meals for a minimum of 15 minutes of seat time. Notice I said seat time, not lunch time or breakfast time. To consume breakfast and a minimum of 20 minutes of seat time to consume lunch. 17 minutes of lunchtime is not adequate to get to the lunchroom, get through the line, and consume your lunch. That being said, 17 minutes is not acceptable. I also want to address the bathroom rules for this year. I'm a teacher. I understand children misbehave in the bathroom. I've had this problem myself with 2nd graders. However, not allowing students to use the restroom can cause infections, which will lead to missed instructional time to be at the doctor to get medication to improve that infection. It also proves that students can't function if they're focused on the need to use the facilities. And last, I want to address the fact that no one has any idea if they're going to have early college next year. This is an opportunity that these students will not otherwise have, some of them. It's an opportunity that many of them look forward to. And I don't have all the details. I'm working with Mr. Nobles on that, and we're trying to work out the details. But I would like to offer the solution that I will help facilitate any contacts if that was the issue. That was the original reason that I was given, that they did not have a contact. I will be more than happy to help facilitate a contact with the Lenore Early College so that these students have this opportunity. That's all that I have, and I thank you for listening tonight. If you would like me to help you facilitate that, just let me know.
Thank you, ma'am.
Candace, do you make sure you have a contact information?
Yeah, it's on the page.
Okay.
It's on the
What
You know
grade
that?
are your kids in?
You need a name?
4th and
You said you
8th.
need a name?
Harden.
What's the name?
I'm sorry, Harden, Ms. Harden. That's right.
Any more comments? All right. We're going to discussion item A.
Board members, you should have a budget report that Melissa left with you. If you have any questions concerning any of that, let Mr. Marquis or myself know, and we will get to the bottom of that and find out answer any questions that you may have.
Any question? Alright. Discussion item B, department update.
You have, board members, you have a department update that we provided for you. You'll see under each department the progress that they're making, the things that they're getting done. Notice under maintenance that the playground equipment, the lighting of the football field, as well as the staff development center and HVAC units, just progress being made with those things. You see updates from human resources and CTE as well. And so if there's any questions or concerns you have, concerning any of that, please let me know and we'll get answers to you as quickly as possible.
I just had one on the playground equipment. Does that come with the mulch as well? Because I know like in Mayville, there's no border or no mulch around that playground.
I think we will have to add mulch to that. That would be separate from the equipment.
Okay.
And we would have to add that.
Tim is aware that he's gonna have to add a mulch once the equipment's installed.
Mr. Walker, any questions?
Does it appear that the ball field where they did the shop stuff is working?
I went out there this afternoon, actually right before lunch and walked the field and it appears to be dry. And, they've laid the sod back down. It'll take a week or two for it to get
Get back the same
back
color.
the same color, but it's solid out there.
Have we had any concerns from other teams not playing us because of foul balls and long ball hits?
No.
I heard that today, just a little while ago, as a matter of fact. Now, I thought, I'd never heard of it. About people not wanting to play for fear of hitting cars, other schools playing. That was just a rumor that was going around.
No.
I mean, I just heard it, so it ain't no different than
That ain't
where we were at
different.
before with foul balls.
Safer than where we were before.
Huh?
It's safer than where we were before.
Yeah, I think it was too. I mean, I think it was too.
Just park where there's no chance of a ball pit.
I mean, there was a lot of foul balls that used to hit the cars that were parked around the back of the old ball field.
I think that's just a rumor.
Yeah.
It's just a rumor.
Yeah, I said it was just a rumor, but I mean, I didn't, but I just, being I just heard it.
And if they hit one on 58, that's a good thing for us. If it's us.
Not if we didn't hit it.
That's what I'm saying, if it's us.
Yeah.
Any other
No,
questions?
that's a joke, y'all. I didn't mean that, seriously. We may even, to follow up on that, or I can do it personally because I work for her, but I've been meaning to say something to Miss Odessa Dunn's family, commissioner's mother, about getting them a schedule. See if they would park on the back side of the house or somewhere maybe a little further out.
I sent them a letter last week.
Great.
We gave them the schedule and
Great.
told them about the ball games.
Thank you.
I just have a few things. Can we find out how many students participated in the math enrichment camp?
We can.
And with our Moorhead Kane scholar, Diamond Moore, can we also find out how many CCP classes she took while obtaining this scholarship?
Sure.
And can we have someone look into, maybe Danielle can look into finding a grant to update the libraries at Pollocksville and Maysville? I feel like their books, I could probably walk in Maysville and find a book with my name in it from when I was there.
We'll look for grant opportunities.
And then the last thing was, so I've seen that the kids aren't allowed outside food, like from restaurants and things, to be brought to school to them. I don't know if it's meant that they have to bring it from home. Can they bring restaurant food with them from home? Or is that just meaning that no one can come in and drop food off from like Subway or whatnot?
It's food delivery.
Food
They
delivery.
can bring it. from home. The reason that was made by administration is some kids do not have that opportunity.
Gotcha. That's all. I have.
We did it this year, or that's in the past?
In the past. But if you have parties at home and you want to throw it in the lunchbox, you sure can.
Well, that's the reason I was asking because, Heather never ate and she always brought biscuits with her. And that's how she got the nickname Biscuit on the ball field. And then, if I didn't have something at home for her, if she was going to on a game that was going to be away, I might run up Subway and drop that off in a little cooler for later. But it stayed in the office until she got ready to leave.
And some of my kids in the past went and picked up lunch. I mean, drove off campus and come back and then bought Subway for teachers.
You tell it on, you tell it on.
I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't know about it until years
You
later.
tell it on. Any more discussion, any questions for you? You got anything? You good? Okay, well,
No comment.
no comment. Item 3C, County Commissioner.
We had, the county commissioners have reached out to us about a quarterly meeting with the board and expressed an interest in doing that. And so,
I did reach out to the board members, and I think most of them was in the majority of meeting on that Tuesday at 3. I think some might have had a conflict just to make sure everybody's still in agreement with a Tuesday. It ain't no date set yet, right?
Okay.
It was just picking a date and letting them looking at it. But we did think, I think we should make it before 5 o'clock. I mean, it keeps staff from having to stay over.
I think it's a great idea.
okay.
Do we know why we're having these quarterly meetings? Because some of the county commissioners said 2 times a year for them was enough, but we don't really have an agenda.
Well, they just met and they requested it.
I mean, I've talked to some of them. I mean, I sit with 2 or 3 of them, and they're the ones that made the comment.
Again, they just had a retreat and they're suggesting it.
Yeah, well, I've been asking them since. I've asked some of them since I talked to you.
I
And
mean,
they talked to me.
again, they made the
Is
suggestion.
their suggestion to have it quarterly?
Yes. I mean, again, they just had their board retreat. They said the manager.
Well, let's see how the funding goes that we're going, because we got to have funding additionally.
Maybe
it's-
Maybe this will help, if this don't help, then,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe this will put us on the same accord.
What is
yeah.
that?
Won't hurt.
But is everybody okay with Dr. Pepe taking that date back to the county manager?
What was that?
Yeah.
No later than 3 on Tuesday.
Tuesday
No later
at
than
3.
3 on Tuesday's good for me.
No later than 3? Y'all are killing me. Some of them still work.
You're only talking 4 days a year, rearrange your schedule.
What's your suggestion? I mean, this is
And I'm serious on that.
We will do what he says, but I'd like to have it a little bit later. If we could. I mean, the employees can meet us halfway. I mean, if we're trying to get them out early, certainly they can do it at 4 instead of 5, maybe. I mean, I'm not the whole team now, but I'm saying for me, it will probably work better. And Billy's right. It's just 4 a year. I could probably schedule it in, but these days are getting more and more that I'm.
You want to say 4?
Huh?
You want to say 4?
I would like that if everybody else could do 4.
I'd rather have it at 3.
I know you would. You already said that.
Yeah, but I'm the one,
3:30.
I got someone that works late.
I ain't missing no more.
And you trying to get off early.
How you figure
What day?
that?
What
I'm
time?
asking to
We're
stay
gonna
at work.
start early.
I'm asking to stay
I
at
think we
work.
should do like 7 a.m.
What?
Get it done over with.
Don't do that. I know.
3 o'clock's great.
I could do 7 better than I could 3.
I can do anything.
Give me time.
I'm good with it.
Red or blue? 3 or 4?
I could agree with 4.
Okay.
And that sort of
Thank you.
meets
Let's
in
say
the
4
middle
o'clock.
with,
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
with him working.
You good?
So 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
And some days I'm home with my feet up at 4.
I'm just
But that's,
saying.
it
doesn't
not
matter
every
to
day.
me. It doesn't matter to me. Kids in school, most parents have to make sure the kids get home. I don't know if anybody in here.
So 4
It
o'clock.
It would just give me a little bit more time where I wouldn't have to, worry about it.
Okay.
And there's less and less days that I'm flexible as I used to be.
Well, they don't have it down there. It look like on the seat.
No, we're past that. He's on 8 months.
All right. Discussion item 3. Item D.
Thank you, Mr. Clifford. Ms. Fial, thank y'all on that. Ms. Bird.
Some board members, I want to share with you, first of all, that good things are going on in our classrooms. We've been visiting and our teachers are teaching and doing a great job. Our administrators are doing a great job. All of them are working hard to do the very best that we can for our children. The one thing I wanted to point out is I went to UNCW last Tuesday, and while I was there, Summer Lewis, who works with UNCW, came over to me and complimented one of our staff members, Ms. Barbara Lee, on the fantastic job she had done with the Color of Education, and she got a grant for that, where they're putting together a program to try to incentivize students from our district to become school teachers. And so I just wanted to make note of that and let you know how well the folks at UNCW thought of Ms. Barbara Lee and the work that she does. She does a fantastic job outside of CTE. And so we're just proud of her and thankful for her for what she does. Bryce and I will be interviewing finance officers this week with Ricky Lux from Hurd and Associates. We, expecting to good things and we want to let you know that we appreciate you as a board. Y'all are supportive of what we do and how we do things, and we just want to let you know that. And we look forward to having that staff development center done in a couple of weeks. I talked to Tim this morning, and that's the projection on that. So that should be a good thing. I know that there has been a question about checking students in and out of school, and so I've talked with Dr. Parker 2 or 3 times about it since Friday night. And so according to Dr. Barker, he has not changed anything with the policies as far as checking in and out. It's the same policy that they began when he got there and really started enforcing what was in the board policy in May of last year. And so nothing has changed since then. And Dr. Parker said he's not had any complaints or anyone come to them with a complaint, but he has been working with people. Generally, how it works is if, let's say, I have a child that's attending school, my wife and I can check them out of school by call or by note. I may designate my grandparent to help me with that. And as long as they're a designated person, they can check them in and out of school. And Dr. Parker said if he's got a call from people who wanted to add people to that list, he's been willing to work with them. So I've got a copy of the policy up there if you want, to read through it, but it's pretty much a generic policy about checking students in and out. It's policy 4210. And it basically says the safety of the students is the paramount concern of the board and the school district. The principal will make reasonable efforts to determine that any person appearing at school and requesting permission to take a student from school is properly identified before the student is released. Just that's a basic vanilla policy that we have that we do that. So I would ask that if anyone has any concerns about it, do not hesitate to contact myself or Dr. Parker or Mr. Noble. We'll be glad to work with them about that.
How long has that policy been in place?
This policy, I've done some research to see, I think it's from like 2013. It was updated in 2020 due to a change in some of the general statute references, but the policy itself didn't change. So it's been in there a long time.
Was it changed on the state level? Was it a state recommendation or a local recommendation?
It doesn't have a date on ours, but I went to 2 or 3 other school systems to look to see when they adopted it, because the policy is about the same, and it was in 2013. So that's how.
But I'm talking about the update to 2020. Was that
That just
was handed down by because most everybody's got to work on a school board policy
It just changed some references to the general statute. The policy itself didn't change. It was
Okay.
just a change to that. So
So a note will, is that what you're saying?
according to Dr. Parker in my comment, I said, ask him, unless, you know,
That-
Ms. Fayall is writing fake notes and we were to
Yeah.
find that out, but in general,
It
yes,
can happen
notes.
now.
I'm not arguing that,
Oh,
Yeah.
but it was saying no change.
But you said there'd be, your name is on, whoever's doing this, his name would be on record out, they'd be designated, as you said,
Yes,
on
sir.
the list.
Safety
Okay,
first.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But are we having problems with, say, the parent just writing, blank? Are you saying writing like a blank note, Shamar? Is that what you're talking about? The parent sign it and then the
No,
student
no.
just sign the date?
The whole
Hand
thing
it
is that everybody thought the policy had changed,
Right.
That
Well,
you
well, I
couldn't-
heard it. Yeah.
that you couldn't write.
That's
No.
the way I was approached too.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden now, high schoolers with license can't leave without their parents checking them out, is basically what I
But
was
it did,
doing. So I'm sorry.
though. And I think that's where it came from, though.
Those students.
it might would be a good idea
That's what.
when the note's given
I don't know how
that you
got sent
touch
out,
base with that parent
but
Yeah,
it did get sent out.
to
He-
make
It had
sure that
changed.
they've written that note. That's my,
He said there's usually gotta be a phone number, didn't you say, on the note?
well, if
Parent
we,
phone number?
you know, if we would have problems, we would say from now on, if you bring a note, it has to have a phone number, or we would call the parent to verify. But even if I'm 16 and have license, my dad or mother or guardian still has to call and get
I
permission
understand.
to leave. So, so,
Yeah, I think that was the concern. It wasn't that the note or whatever. I think they thought the rules was changing.
Right.
When the text came out, I don't know who sent the text out at the,
Dr. Parker sent, some things out yesterday, I think.
This was,
so they were saying that no changes in the procedures.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
he got a
came
text
out-
as a parent last week,
but
right?
but the text came out, said that the policy had been changed. You know, was the confusing part, I think.
right, and there's no change to the policy. There's been nothing changed. Okay. So, you know, anytime there's any questions about any of that, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be glad to help any of you with that. And we got 5 weeks until spring break. We need to keep the main thing, because, you know, these next 5 weeks are really important. And then when we return from spring break, there's 5 weeks left of school, and that's it. And so, you know, we got to stay after it and do the very best we can for the next 10 weeks.
And this is gonna sound so simple that Billy or somebody's gonna hit me with something, but when I coached football, and most of us have coached, or you taught, and I hope everybody agrees with this, please just try to stress to them over a period of weeks how important, when you're taking these end of year tests and you're taking any test, even for knucklehead like me, I understood I need to go to bed an hour or two early.
Yes.
You need to be, I mean, I stress that in football. If you guys never go to bed on time, go to bed on time tonight. And that might sound simple, but it helps.
It is
If they'll
recommended.
stay off the cell phone and won't be up at midnight, and if they'll go to bed, you know, Walt Disney time. I know we don't have Walt Disney anymore, but what's that, 7:30? But no, it makes a lot of, it, you know, that's just a small step, but I think that always helps.
I agree. Okay. Any questions about any of y'all or any parent that has any questions, we welcome them. We don't hesitate to, we would ask you to reach out to us if you have any concerns.
Item 4, board member comments. Larry, Mr. Lawson, you have any?
I've already said too much.
Mr. Griffin, any comment?
No, I don't think I've said enough for the time being. Other than that, I did see the Duke Carolina game.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
You didn't order.
Out of order.
You didn't order.
He did order.
I got a text from Sherrod in the middle of
Says
the
the
week.
good thing.
when Duke State played.
Take comments.
I have no comments at this.
Neither Saturday or today.
Ooh, ooh.
Mm.
Ms. Bird, Ms. Bird, comment.
I don't have any comments, just other than, I just hope that everyone sees that there are some great things happening in our school system. And we just need to get the word out there, so that everyone knows about it beyond the internet. Not everybody has internet, but if you can share with your neighbors and, there are good things happening. We have to share the good news.
You don't get a whole lot of paper or TV coverage, you know that.
There's no more papers.
And paid publicity also. Were we supposed to adopt that? Yeah. It's us.
What's coming?
My bad.
It's coming. It's coming.
Hey, I don't wanna leave nothing out.
Right, good?
Sorry.
We're going to our action item 5A, approval of drug policy for commercial vehicles.
Good evening, board. At this time, I'm asking, during the second reading, that you approve policy 7241 in regard to drug and alcohol testing of commercial motor vehicle operators.
I'll make a motion with no discussion.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Action item 5B, approval of CIPA policy compliance.
Good evening, everyone. We're asking for approval of our simple policies. That's the Children's Internet Protection Act. And the two policies associated with that is our Internet Safety Policy and also our Technology Responsible Use Policy. There's no changes to this policy. There just, there are no requests for changes. The main purpose for this is just we can show public notice with our simple compliant, so we'll be in compliance in case of an audit.
I'll make the motion, I'll do the motion
I'll second.
to adopt it.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Action item C, school calendar.
Board members, you should have a copy of the draft calendar. It was sent to all 212 staff members last week. It voted upon multiple options, and this is the option that 96% of them voted for.
Is that the one you recommend?
This is what we recommend.
How many options were
There are two.
I'll make a motion to adopt the one that had the most, preferences.
I'll second.
Whether that's A or B or one or two or whatever.
there? Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Action item 5D, approval of 2022-23 summer school program.
Good evening. I'm here asking for your approval for one of the 4 summer programs we're going to be offering this summer. This is the additional opportunity program where students are able to come back and demonstrate proficiency on the end of grade or end of course assessment. We've offered this in the past and it requires board approval.
Will they come to the school for it, or do they do it at home?
They come to the school. We usually have them both programs housed at Trenton and Jones Senior at one building.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Action item 5E.
Dr. Parker had given you information about the innovative high school program that he wished, he and his staff gave you information about. They just want permission from you all to move forward with the grant process to see if they can obtain innovative high school program.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Motion to enter an executive session.
I'm moving to enter.
Discuss personnel.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're not into closed session.
Y'all give me a minute.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank y'all.
And Ms. Dawn, good to see you.
Yes. Get out, I'm like, oh, it's time for me to go check and see what's going on. Y'all have a good
Thank
rest
you,
of the
Ms.
day. Keep up
Harper.
good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hardy.
We can re-enter when you're done, right?
Yes.